Good morning, students. So today I will be dealing with purine and pyrimidine nucleotide metabolism. It is very important, and you know very well that what are purines and pyrimidine. They are the nucleotide bases. Okay, purine and pyrimidine, they are the nucleotide bases. So what are your learning objectives? Means what you should be learning after the ending of this lecture. They are here. Discuss biosynthesis of purine nucleotides and its regulation. Describe catabolism of purine nucleotides. Describe disorders associated with purine nucleotides. Metabolism. Laboratory results of analytes associated with gout and Lichtenstein syndrome. Dis- Discuss de novo synthesis of pyrimidine nucleotides. Describe catabolism of pyrimidine nucleotides. Describe disorder of pyrimidine nucleotide metabolism and identify the enzymes of the nucleotide biosynthesis that are inhibited by anti-cancer drugs. These are the objectives. Okay, what you will be learning in the end of this lecture. Okay. Now let me start with the nucleic acid. You know there are two nucleic acids. One is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and other is the RNA. Okay, so first of all, we will be taking the DNA. The nucleotide acid, deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA and ribonucleic acid RNA are polymers of nucleotides. They are made up of nucleotides. Proteins, you know, they are made up of amino acids. Lipids, you know what they are made up of? They are made up of triacylglycerols. Okay, so what we are taking here? We are taking nucleic acid and their building block is nucleotide. Their unit is nucleotide. Many nucleotides are there. And when you are having a nucleotide, you should having a clear picture what is there in the nucleotide, which is giving here. They have three characteristic compounds: nitrogen containing base, purine and pyrimidine. Any one base, adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, and uracil. Any one of can be the nitrogen containing base. There will be pentose sugar, deoxypentose in RNA, DNA, and ribose pentose sugar in RNA, and one or more phosphates. Okay, the molecules without phosphate groups is called nucleoside. Okay, so when there is a sugar and base, then it is nucleoside. When they all three are there, they are becoming nucleotides. So in DNA, RNA, nucleotides are arranged. These are the purine bases. Adenine and guanine are purine. Cytosine, uracil, thymine, they are pyrimidine bases. Okay, so you can remember if name is small, the structure is big of adenine and guanine. They are having two rings and pyrimidine bases. Cytosine, uracil, and thymine. Pyrimidine is a big name, so you will get a small basis. Cytosine, single cyclic structure. Uracil is also having like that, and thymine is having same. Cytosine and uracil are found in RNA, and cytosine and thymine in DNA. Okay, adenine is not there in the DNA. Sorry, not adenine. It is thymine is not there in the RNA. RNA, thymine, uracil is there. Purines and pyrimidines are dietary non-essential components. Okay, purines and pyrimidines are dietary non-essential components. Okay, dietary purines and pyrimidines are neither converted to nucleotides nor incorporated into nucleic acids. Purine bases are oxidized to uric acid and pyrimidine bases are oxidized to carbon dioxide and ammonia, which are subsequently excreted in the urine. So understand what I am telling you, that purines and pyrimidines are dietary non-essential components. Dietary purines and pyrimidines are neither converted. Okay, dietary purines and pyrimidines are neither converted to nucleotides nor incorporated into nucleic acids. Okay, purine bases are oxidized to uric acid, and pyrimidine bases are oxidized to carbon dioxide and ammonia, which are subsequently excreted in the urine. So purine bases are giving us uric acid. Means adenine and guanine are giving us uric acid, but these are your thymine, uracil, and uracil, thymine, and this cytosine. They are giving us carbon dioxide and water, ammonia. Sorry, it is the digestion of dietary nucleic acid. What we are getting from dietary nucleic acids. They are DNA and RNA in the diet. Then they are giving us mononucleotide, single nucleotide, and mononucleotide, RNA nucleotide. Then we are removing phosphorus and we are getting a nucleoside. Here also we are getting nucleoside. It is this action is ribonuclease and deoxyribonuclease. Ribonuclease is working on RNA, deoxyribonuclease is working on DNA. Okay, then nucleotides are changing to nucleosides, means phosphate is removed here and here both. So it is nucleotidase and phosphatases giving us nucleosides. Okay, and then from nucleosides, this addition of water, and we are getting bases and deoxyribose. Okay, and base is oxidized and excreted. Here, the addition of water, and then we are having bases and ribose sugar, where we are having deoxyribose from the DNA. So ribose is separated, these bases are oxidized, and then they are excreted. So you can say that dietary nucleic acid are not contributing in the formation of DNA and RNA in the body. Okay. That if dietary components are not giving us DNA and RNA, how we are getting purine and purine nucleotides? How we are getting the formation of DNA and RNA? The two purines nucleotides of nucleic acids are adenosine monophosphate, AMP. Adenosine monophosphate, AMP, means adenine is there, your sugar is there, ribose sugar is there, and we are having a phosphate molecule. So we are having AMP and guanosine monophosphate. So it is guanine base, then sugar and a phosphate. So these are the nucleic acids, the purine nucleotides. Purine nucleotides can be synthesized by two pathways, de novo pathway and salvage pathway. Okay, de novo, new synthesis from amphibolic intermediates. Okay, and salvage pathway, synthesis from degraded DNA intermediates. Okay, understand the difference between de novo and salvage. New synthesis from amphibolic intermediates, and salvage pathway, synthesis from degraded DNA intermediates. Now your biphosphorylation of free purine bases and biphosphorylation of purine nucleotides. Okay, ribosylation of free purine bases and phosphorylation of purine nucleotides. Okay. Now you see de novo biosynthesis of purine nucleotides. In de novo pathway, the purine ring is assembled on ribosome 5-phosphate formed from variety of precursors. Okay, what I told you, that de novo new synthesis from amphibolic intermediates. So same thing I hear, that in de novo pathway, the purine ring is assembled on ribose 5-phosphate formed from variety of precursors. Okay, you see this. It is purine, and it, okay, so it is the structure of source of carbon and nitrogen atom in the purine. Means you see this carbon dioxide, aspartate, N10 formal, THF, glutamine, N5N10 methyl THF. These are the sources of carbon and nitrogen atoms in the purine rings. And see, same structure is you will find in the purine. Okay. You see, it is the ribose sugar. And then there are three phosphates, alpha, beta, and gamma. There are three phosphates. They are high energy phosphate bonds. Okay. And it is the sugar. And here you will find the base on carbon number 1. Okay. It is the structure of adenine or guanine. Okay. You see the arrangement of carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in pentose. So on carbon number 1, you will find the base. On carbon number 5, you will find the phosphates. Okay. Now, de novo synthesis of purine nucleotides. The biosynthesis of purine begins with ribose 5-phosphate right from pentose phosphate pathway. Remember HMP shunt? The biosynthesis of purine begins with ribose phosphates derived from pentose phosphate pathway. Okay. You can remember the first three steps of the pentose phosphate pathway. You were starting from the glucose 6-phosphate, then fructose glucose 6-phosphate, then you are reaching fructose 6-phosphate, and then you are getting ribose 5-phosphates also. So they are contributing here. So this ribose 5-phosphate is converted to phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate, PRPP, pentose phosphatidyl phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate by the transfer of pyrophosphate group from ATP to C1 of the ribose 5-phosphate. Okay, I will explain you again. The biosynthesis of purine begins with ribose phosphate. And what is the source of ribose phosphate? It is our HMP shunt or the pentose phosphate pathway, which is converted to phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate, PRPP. How this pentose phosphate is changing to PRPP? By the transfer of pyrophosphate group from ATP to C1 of the ribose 5-phosphate. The reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme PRPP synthetase. PRPP synthetase, it is the enzyme. So what we will be getting the PRPP. You see here, ribose 5-phosphate is giving us phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate. ATP is changing to AMP, enzyme is PRPP synthetase. Synthetase means energy involving enzyme. So it is ATP changing to AMP in the presence of magnesium as the cofactor. You will be getting phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate. And then this PRPP is changing to 5-ribosyl amine by glutamine addition, water addition. And this glutamine is changing to glutamate, water is changing to inorganic phosphate, and what we will be getting 5-phosphoribosyl amine. Glutamine PRPP amidotransferase is the enzyme. The synthesis of phosphoribosylamine for PPP is the first committed step in the formation of inosine monophosphate. Okay. It is inosine monophosphate. I will be showing you a complete diagram later on. Okay. Let me have a glass of water, then I will be telling you. Okay. The enzyme that catalyzes the reaction is glutamine PRPP amidinotransferase. The amino nitrogen of glutamine provides N9 of the purine ring. And C4, C5, and N7 are next provided by the addition of amino acid glycine to form glycinamide ribonucleotide GR. Okay. You see, 5-phosphoribosylamine, it was formed earlier. 5-phosphoribosylamine, then 5-phosphoribosylamine is giving a glycinamide ribonucleotide. Glycinamide nucleotide by GR synthetase. Again, ATP is changing to ADP, and glycine is coming here. So we are having glycinamide ribonucleotide. Then it is giving us formyl glycinamide ribonucleotide by N5N10 methyl THF. N5N10 methyl tetrahydrofolate adds a carbon that will become C8 of the purine ring. The N3 of the purine structure is introduced by the another glutamic molecule. Okay. You see there formyl glycinamide ribonucleotide FGAR. Formyl glycinamide ribonucleotide, and we are getting formyl glycinamide ribonucleotide here. Form glycinamide ribonucleotide. Then amino imidazole ribonucleotide by FGM cyclase AIR synthase. Okay, amino imidazole ribonucleotide AIR amino imidazole I and R ribonucleotide. What does it mean? FGAM. It is formyl glycinamide ribonucleotide. Okay. Form glycinamide ribonucleotide is FGAR. Okay. Then this amino imidazole ribonucleotide is giving us carboxy amino imidazole ribonucleotide CAIR. Carboxylase by the carboxylase. Addition of carbon dioxide to AIR adds the atom that will become C6 of the purine structure. Okay, this step they are talking addition of carbon dioxide to AIR adds the atom that will become C6 of the purine structure, and the reaction requires neither ATP nor biotin. Okay, aspartate adds nitrogen 1 of the purine structure. Right? Addition of carbon dioxide to AR adds the atom that will become C6 of the purine structure. The reaction requires neither ATP nor biotin. Aspartate adds nitrogen 1 of the purine structure. Okay. Then aspartate, it is separately running to N-succinyl 5-amino-imidazole 4-carboxymide ribonucleotide SAICAR SAICAR synthase. Okay, it was from the imidazole. It was from the carboxyimidazole ribonucleotide CAIR. We are getting SAICAR. Then fumarate is removed, and what we are getting? Amino imidazole carboxyimide ribonucleotide AICAR. ICAR, SAICAR, AICAR, SAICAR. Okay, SAICAR lyase, SAICAR synthase. Okay, you will have to remember this. Okay, in fact. Then amino imidazole carboxyribonucleotide ICAR is giving us 5-car formyl imidazole carboxymide ribonucleotide 5-car. From ICAR we are getting 5-car, and finally this inosine monophosphate. Okay, remember Wobble hypothesis, inosine was there, so we are getting inosine monophosphate IMP. Okay, carbon 2 of the purine ring is added, N10 formyl tetrahydrofolate ring closer of formyl amino imidazole carboxymide ribonucleotide catalyzed by IMP synthase forms the first purine nucleotide called the inosine monophosphate IMP. Okay, it is the nucleotide inosine. Both adenosine and guanosine monophosphates are produced from IMP using nitrogen of aspartate and glutamine respectively. Okay. So what I told you, that first base inosine was formed, and from inosine we can get adenosine and guanosine. Adenine means adenine and guanine both are produced from inosine using nitrogen of aspartate and glutamine respectively. Okay, so we got the inosine. This inosine is giving us adenosine monophosphate, and inosine monophosphate is giving us guanosine monophosphate, right? By these two reactions 12 and 13, adenosuccinate synthase, that first it is changing to adenosuccinate, it is xanthosine monophosphate. Okay, so it is by the addition of aspartate. It is by the addition of NAD. Okay, xanthosine monophosphate, adenosuccinate, and from adenosuccinate and by the enzyme adenosuccinase, we are getting adenosine monophosphate, removal of formate, and here glutamine changing to glutamate, and we are getting guanosine monophosphate. So inosine nucleic acid nucleotide, and then adenosine monophosphate, guanosine monophosphate, we are getting it. Okay. The mononucleotide AMP and GMP, single phosphate is there. Adenosine monophosphate, guanosine monophosphate are converted to their nucleoside diphosphate ADP. AMP addition of one phosphate and it is changing to ADP. Addition of one phosphate and it will change to GDP. So ADP and GDP by phosphorylation at the expense of ATP catalyzed by the nucleoside monophosphate kinase. Okay, so there is the addition of a phosphate. Okay, and this phosphate is coming by ATP. So it is giving us its 1-phosphate to AMP and it's changing to ADP. It is giving another phosphate to GMP and it is becoming GDP. Okay. ADP formed by AMP is then phosphorylated to ATP by reaction of glycolysis and citric acid cycle or by the respiratory chain by oxidative phosphorylation. Biological oxidation, it will be covered by Dr. Dharamveer. That ADP formed by AMP is then phosphorylated to ATP by reactions of glycolysis and citric acid cycle by the respiratory chain. GDP is converted to GTP by nucleoside diphosphate kinase at the expense of another ATP. Okay. All these pathways are interrelated. So there I told you that ribose 5-phosphate was contributed by HMP shunt. And here I am telling you that this ADP is converted to ATP by glycolysis and cyclic this citric acid cycle. Is formation of nucleotide di and triphosphates of purine bases. Nucleoside, phosphate is not there. Nucleoside, monophosphate, nucleoside, diphosphate, nucleoside, triphosphate. Okay. Nucleoside, triphosphate, nucleoside, diphosphate, nucleoside, monophosphate. Then synthesis of deoxyribonucleotide. Ribonucleotide is changing to deoxyribonucleotide by ribonucleotide reductase. Okay, and addition of DATP, DDTP. Then in this reaction, reduced thyroxine is oxidized to thioredoxin, and thyroredoxin reductase here NADP is semi-converted to NADPH2. It is the reaction where ribonucleotide is giving us deoxyribonucleotide. So you may ask how the ribonucleotide is changing to deoxyribonucleotide. So what do we say? We say it is the deoxyribose sugar there. Okay, but in fact, what is happening? You see, this thioredoxin and oxidized thioredoxin reduce thyroredoxin by thioredoxin reductase. Regulation of de novo synthesis of purine nucleotide. The de novo synthesis of purine nucleotide is regulated by feedback inhibition at 3 sites. Okay. Okay. These 3 sites are PRPP synthase, glutamine PRPP amidotransferase, adenosyl succinate synthase. Okay. Ribose 5-phosphate. We have started from the ribose 5-phosphate, then PRPP, phosphoribosylamine, then adenosyl succinate, then xanthosine monophosphate, AMP, GMP. It is the summarized pathway. And there are 3 regulatory steps: PRPP synthase, glutamine PRPP amidotransferase, and adenosyl succinate synthase. These are the regulatory enzymes there. Synthesis of purine nucleotide by salvage pathway. Synthesis of purine nucleotide by salvage pathway. The pathway involved in the conversion of free purines to nucleotide is called salvage pathway. It consists of a single reaction. Free purine bases, adenine, guanine, hypoxanthine, are formed in cells during the metabolic degradation of nucleic acids and nucleotides, which are salvaged and used over again to remake purine nucleotide. Okay. So de novo synthesis was long one, and it is the salvage pathway. Means it is the byproduct of the degradation. Free purine bases are formed by cells during the metabolic degradation of nucleic acid and nucleotides, which are salvaged and used over again to remake purine nucleotides. It is salvage reaction by phosphoribosylation of adenine. Adenine is changing as and getting AMP. Okay. Adenine phosphoribosyl transferase. Adenine is a base and we are having adenosyl monophosphate. Hypoxanthine is giving inosine monophosphate. Okay. And we are getting guanine also. It is guanosine monophosphate. Then purine nucleoside are converted to purine nucleotide by the addition of phosphate, and this phosphate is given by the ATP. Salvage reaction by phosphorylation of purine nucleoside, and the nucleoside is changing to nucleotide by the addition of ATP. Significance of salvage pathway. HGPRTase channels by hypoxanthine and guanine back into DNA synthesis. Failure of this enzyme results increased uric acid, a purine breakdown product. Okay, and the de novo pathway is stimulated due to an excess of PRPP, phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate. Okay, understand this again. Significance of salvage pathway. Okay, how it is better and in comparison to de novo. HGPRT channels by hypoxanthine and guanine back into DNA synthesis. Okay, they are giving us DNA directly, hypoxanthine and guanine. Failure of this enzyme results means is this enzyme HGPRTase. If it is not working, then uric acid, a purine breakdown product. And the de novo pathway is stimulated due to an excess of PRPP. Okay, de novo's pathway is stimulated due to an excess of PRPP. If it is more, then our de novo pathway is stimulated. Okay. This salvage pathway provides purine nucleotides for tissues incapable of their biosynthesis by de novo pathway. For example, human brain, erythrocytes, and polymorphonuclear leukocytes cannot synthesize P-phosphoribosylamine due to low level of PRPP aminotransferase, and therefore depends in part on salvage pathway for purine nucleotides. Okay. Salvage pathway provide purine nucleotides for tissues incapable of their biosynthesis by de novo pathway. For example, human brain, erythrocytes, and polymorphonuclear leukocytes cannot synthesize 5-phosphoribosylamine due to low level of PRPP aminotransferase, and therefore depends in part on salvage pathway for purine nucleotides. The end product of purines, adenine and guanine, is uric acid. The end product of purines is uric acid. So I have covered totally 38 transparencies out of 98. So I will stop here. But now I will be 2 lectures more on this purine and pyrimidine synthesis and breakdown. I will be telling you. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so in a couple of days, I will be giving you the next 2 lectures on purine and pyrimidine. Thank you very much.